Hi, this is Michael, and this is Cameron, and we are here to talk about why Christians should get out and vote. We're here with Rick Green. He's an attorney and representative from the state of Texas, and we're here with my dad. He's the pastor at Calvary Christian Center. So maybe you guys can tell us, why should Christians vote? Why is that important?
Well, I mean, first of all, it's a duty. It's a responsibility. It's a way of saying, look, I've been given freedom. People have died for my freedom. The best way for me to thank them, according to Abraham Lincoln, is to have an increased devotion to the cause for which they were willing to give their lives. Well, hey, but that cause is the cause of liberty, and the only way you're protected is showing up to vote. Your vote does count. Your vote needs to be counted every single time. Your values need to be counted. Our voice needs to be heard. And as Christians, I think it's a double responsibility, because Jesus said, occupy until I return. We're not supposed to bury this talent of freedom. We're supposed to use it, invest in it, and make the most of it.
That's good.
Yeah. And we all owe a debt to our future, our heritage, those who come after us. We have a responsibility to our children, our children's children, to hand off to them the freedoms and the liberties that we've all enjoyed so well here over our lifetimes. And as Rick mentioned, I owe a debt of gratitude to every person who dons the uniform of the United States of America, because what they've done for me and for all of us is they've handed us rights and privileges and freedoms. And every time I exercise them, I'm also saying thanks for all that you've done to make that possible.
That's so good.
You know, it goes as simple as saying, as Edmund Burke states, all that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
That's right.
And a question that I get a lot from a lot of Christians and a lot of churches is, how do I know my vote counts? Is there anything you guys can say to that? Or
Hey, man, I'm living proof standing right here. I lost by 20 votes out of 30,000 in my first race. And believe me, my lesson that night was every vote counts. I mean, where I live, that's one homeschool family. That's not many. Okay, maybe two homeschool families. Anyway, that's not many people. And I think people don't realize, not only does their one vote make a difference, but if you're willing to use your voice too, post on Facebook, you know, talk about who you're supporting, put your list of candidates. Most people don't even know who's running, let alone who the most biblical candidate is out of that. So you can multiply your vote by not only showing up, but then letting other people know and putting the word out. You could influence 20 votes. 100 votes. I mean, some people got 500 or 5,000 people on Facebook. Let your voice be heard. Influence what's going on, and that vote will. I'm telling you, I can't tell you how many times in the legislature, when I was in the legislature, one vote made the difference. In elections, I've had friends lose by 3 and 4 votes or win by 3 and 4 votes. Every vote counts.
And you mentioned the signing of the Declaration, how close that was.
Oh man, it almost didn't happen because of tie votes and failed votes. I mean, it absolutely matters. And sometimes we look at the system, it's so big, and we think, well, my one vote's not going to matter. I promise you it does. And even if you're not winning the elections where you're participating in, you still have that duty. As John Quincy Adams said, duty is ours, results are God's. You hit something that hit home to me, because over this last year I became a grandpa. I don't know if you knew that or not, but I'm a grandpa now. But I think about that now. I think, you know, we owe it to those future generations. And there was this pastor in 1801 named Matthias Burnett, and he said that we owe it to our posterity, actually, that we don't want our children to have reason to curse us for giving up the freedoms that we have. And I think about my grandson now, and I'm like, I don't want my grandson someday saying, you know, hey, Grandpa, why was it on your watch that we lost freedom, and now I don't have it?
And a vote is exponentially influential, because as Rick pointed out, you let people know. There are so many people who don't know who to vote for.
Yeah.
Or why am I voting for this person? Do anybody know anything about this person? So if we all take responsibility, do some homework, then we're able to get that word out. Then we begin to multiply the impact of our one vote and multiply that by as many others that we've influenced. So it is important and imperative. I have a responsibility to have influence like salt and light in my community and my nation. And casting my vote is an aspect of salting the earth and letting the light shine. This is what I stand for. This is what I believe.
Good.
That's great. You know, in Matthew chapter 16, Jesus said, I will build my church upon this rock. And that word church did not mean that Jesus was wanting to invest in a building program. That word that he used there that we read as church was the word ecclesia. It's a very specific word. It means a group of people who've been called out to make decisions that are going to affect the entire community. That's who Jesus died for. That is the church. And if you're a Christian, that's you. You were called out by Christ himself to be a part of a group of people that every decision that you make is going to reach out and influence the entire community. And to me, that says voting is a part of that. Be engaged and be involved. So I think, what we learned here today is that it's that we can call Rick Green Grandpa Green, and that it's
And I'm more
important,
gray every time you see me, too.
Join the club.
and that it's important for you to get out and vote.
Amen.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.